This is
geographics.
probably top 3 windy conditions I've ever played. I would say the difference between like you hit a shot from one side, which goes maybe 2 meters out, and to the other side, it's like 1.5 meters short of the service line. So almost 4 meters of difference in the shots. From the one side, I think we played one lift in the whole set we put in court. Everything else went out just because it's just flying and flying and flying. It's really tough.
Feels like air badminton. Guys, welcome back to ShuttleSquad episode 50.
50.
Wow.
50. Yeah, we're back with the boys club. Kirsty is playing BXL in Indonesia, and I think we will get some interesting stories from that next week. But this week here with me, Christo Popov. Hello.
Hello, guys. Nice to be here again.
And Marvin Seidel. Hi, Marvin.
Hello. Nice to be back.
Guys, here we go again. It's been a while. Last week was a little break, and I think, Christo, for you, it's been a little longer, right? I think the last time we talked was before Hong Kong. I think you were in Hong Kong already, but I think it was before your first match.
I think I did it during Hong Kong. I was in Hong Kong.
Yeah, I remember. But I think it was before your match against Ginting. Or maybe right after? I don't remember. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure also. I know it was in the evening, so probably after one match, but then
maybe.
Then I don't remember
this
which one.
Just playing too many matches on the tournament, like always getting to semifinals and stuff. Like, wow.
Yeah, he knows already. He's already shy again. Stuff it.
Yeah, it's a good period. Definitely, it's a good period.
Quite a good period. I mean, Hong Kong was a Super 500. There was a semifinal for you. Then afterwards, China Masters 750. Again, a semifinal for you. Could be worse, I guess. World number 8 at this point.
Yeah, could be worse. Yeah, a lot worse.
How does this sound? Crazy.
Yeah, sounds good. Of course, I'm very happy about everything, and I'm just trying to keep up with the way that I'm on right now, and trying to make like best out of it, especially with the last European tour right now, with the 4 tournaments that I will be playing in a row. So yeah, main focus is to keep this high quality. I think I reach also like a good consistency with playing at a high level, and physically also grown up. Yeah, I'm happy about that. And now the most difficult part is now to maintain. So yeah, I hope to maintain it.
We said, I think a few episodes back, when we said it's way harder to get into the top 32 than to stay there. But how is it in the top 10? Probably as hard as getting there.
I don't know. I've just been there for a few weeks now, so I cannot say anything. But it's gonna be definitely very, very hard.
Yeah. When you go to tournaments now, does your self-image change a little bit from being like the guy who can only win in those in the second round, third round to now? Okay, now I actually have to lose something. Is that something that you take into the weeks or not really?
Yeah, I mean,
if you have that seed now,
I think of course you are like now a target. People also now go on tournaments playing you, and they're like, yeah, now he's top 10, so I'm definitely now a target. Sometimes it's like, I know in France we used to say in the last few years, like, how many top 10 wins do you have in a year? And that actually means something. So now I'm one of them. People are getting, it's a goal to win against someone like me now. But also it's harder because, everyone will be playing relaxed against you because you're kind of favorite on the papers. I mean, yeah, status changes a lot. But also from my side, you're like more... Like, I know that what I've played last tournaments, I've been also more relaxed because I'm quite confident in my game. So that also changed a lot from my side. But yeah, as I said, now the hardest part will be to maintain everything and be consistent. And because now to get any points, I need to do at least semifinal. So yeah, that's when I think about it, like maybe 1 year ago or even 6 months ago, I'll be like, whoa, semifinal will be something amazing to achieve, and now I have to do it every time to maintain.
Crazy. That's actually a crazy position to be in. Marvin, do you prefer to be the hunter or the hunted going on court?
I think rather the hunter, to be honest.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think it's the easier position, if you want to call it that way. But that is just like the inner feeling, I would say. Of course, like if you're completely honest, you want to be world number one and everybody should hunt you. Like that is, of course, the position that everyone is fighting for. But yeah, it's very difficult to achieve. And like even the top 10, I haven't done that yet. So I think my highest ranking was 11. So yeah, maybe, yeah.
Barely.
Just haven't done it yet. So
sometimes it's just about one round, maybe to you to get top 10. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like 150 points or something back then.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that was tough. But yeah, I think the hunter is the easier position in general. And then like you play some lower ranked tournaments, maybe like 100 or something, and there you are number one seeded maybe, and then you are suddenly the one in front, and it's difficult to close out, in my opinion. Maybe some have this natural inner thing of, okay, if I'm the best here at the tournament ranking wise, then I will also just win it. I'm definitely not that kind of type. So for me, it takes a lot of mental energy to prepare for these situations. But yeah, I mean, it's something that we all have to deal with at one point.
Yeah, I think with you playing mixed doubles now, starting a new partnership, you also play those smaller tournaments for the first time in a few years. I mean, how is that for you? Because on the one hand, you're a new pair, so you're just getting started. There's no expectation probably, but on the other hand, your self-image is probably, okay, I'm a World Tour player. I don't want to be here for too long, you know?
Yeah, of course.
How do you handle that?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really know where we would stand when we started, right? So it was nice also to start with Luxembourg with a win, and then Réunion also win again, and I think Canada was it now with the semifinals at 300. So like we already showed, okay, we are capable of playing very well, but of course still have a long way to go until we have the consistency of being up there in the World Tour. But nevertheless, with the ranking points that we got now, we got into, I think, Denmark and French Open both, although we will now only play French Open, but nevertheless, it just showed, okay, we gained some points that make us eligible to play, and that also shows you, okay, you are on the right track. But yeah, on these lower ranked tournaments, although you're maybe not seeded first, everybody, of course, or most people might know you a little bit from the years before and know, okay, this or that guy is a really good player, so let's see where he is going. And you know yourself, okay, I might be one of the pairs who can definitely win the tournament, but now it's about executing. Yeah, and then it's a lot about focusing on yourself and on the strength that you have and being able to get them on court. And to be honest, I think it's also good for the learning curve that you have to not just look at what are the others doing and how can I beat them. That's often actually what we try to do when we step on court on the World Tour. Like, okay, what are the strengths or weaknesses of this or that pair and how can we counter it? And it was less the, okay, this is our strength, so we will just do this. Maybe we should have done that a little bit more. In some halls where we knew, okay, this really fits our style, we did it. But now when you play pairs that you know basically they are on your level or maybe a little bit below you, if you just execute what you are capable of, then you might be able to win it just by doing that without actually looking too much into tactics about like what are they doing. It's more about, hey, we want to do this, this, and this, and then we will make points because we're just better. So yeah, I think for getting to know yourself even better and to know where your strengths are and how to convert them into points, this is actually really good. And that's also the reason why right now even though we could play, for example, Denmark Open, like we will not go because it's more important to actually play a little bit more matches where we get the chance to execute our strength and not face world number one right now, where we might get beaten badly because we're just not there yet and haven't had enough time to find our strength together. Yeah, that is a little bit the things that we have in mind right now, and I think these tournaments that we are playing with challenges, Super 100, Super 300, are perfect for that.
Yeah, perfect to find your rhythm and also build confidence in each other and trust and everything. Yeah, sounds super good. Christo, how do you do that actually now when you go on court? How much do you adapt to your opponent and how much do you just focus on yourself?
Well, I think it would depend, of course, of the opponent, but maybe 50-50 at some point. But it's also not only to the opponent, but also to the whole, because in Asia, you like there are really like few shots you cannot play sometimes or need to adapt. So maybe 20 the whole, 30-40 opponents, and then the rest it's to you, because you of course need to be able to focus on yourself, what you can do, what you cannot do, or what you're not sure of doing. But then also, I think it just also always changes during the match. Every 5-6 points, you can see like totally different rallies at some point, and that's because players are adapting. Because you lost three maybe rallies in a row, like okay. This tactics or this rally, how I started or how I ended it, it's not so well. Let's try to make this and this. And sometimes like having a tactic against one opponent can work like today, but tomorrow no. So you need to also have like a maybe plan B, C, D, but of course, it's not a totally different plan. It's just adapting of the length of your clears, the power on the smashes, angle, playing very close to the net or not close to the net, and then mode flat or there's a lot of I think factors that you can change and adapt, and that's why that's a very beautiful sport and very complex. But yeah, I think you need to adapt to a lot of things, and that's the toughest part.
Yeah, sometimes we try to, like, from a how do we put this on Instagram or how do we put this on media? We try to make it simple in explanation. Or I also thought about, let's analyze a match together with a player, but it's so tough to put it in a short form because it's so complex.
And there's also maybe different opinion sometimes. You
Yeah,
could
sure,
have a player
obviously.
that would say, "Yeah, I would definitely play like that," and another player with a different style would say, "No, I would not play that. I would definitely play like another style." So it depends a lot. So of course, one point of view is great to have for the fans, but could be not like complete.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
sure.
I think sometimes, like when you're a commentator or something, or when you hear people commentate on matches, they see these certain things and like sell it like, okay, yeah, this is definitely the tactics or whatever. But then if you talk with the people who actually played afterwards, it was like, no, that's like, we didn't even think about that. No, we just did this or that, or oh yeah, no, we tried to play this shot, and then we got the attack or whatever. And like, it's so tough to actually analyze a match, especially while looking at it like in real time without like slow motion and stuff. It's really, really difficult. And I was talking with somebody the other day about like football matches in the 15 minutes of break after halftime. Like they try to see like the players move this way or this way, and you can actually see some patterns that make totally sense and stuff. In badminton, it just goes so fast and it's so quick, and sometimes you also just react without knowing that this is good or bad, or it's so difficult to make these analyzing stuff.
Yeah,
there's so much reflex and so much like not thinking shots at some point and just reacting, as you said, is you cannot
and I mean also, like, if you play a shot, if you play it this high over the net or this high over the net, like 5 centimeters, 15 centimeters, 2 centimeters, it makes such a big difference to the outcome, like what the opponent can do afterwards, that even though it might have been the right shot idea, if it's not executed perfectly, then it's a completely different situation afterwards, and that counts for every shot that you play, basically. Like, and it can change so fast. Doesn't matter if the direction was right, if the quality was not right, then you can be, I can't say the word, effed.
Fucked.
But, correct. Okay.
I'll do that for you. I'm here for you.
Yeah. So it's really, really difficult to do these analysis, and also with the camera angle that we have sometimes, like from the top, from the bird view, basically, you also can't see the real quality of the shot sometimes. That's also why I like these bottom angles so much, where you can actually see how high the shuttle is flying over the net, because that can make all the difference.
That's actually so, like, because I'm commentating every now and then a little bit, and I'm always so scared to say something stupid analyzing, because I'm like, I think I'm quite mid in analyzing matches and seeing patterns, and then that's why I always prefer having somebody next to me who is actually a pro player, because then I can always rely on his or her opinion, and I'll always be like, okay, he or she is the pro. I'm just here. I'm just commentating, and they tell you what is happening down there. But if there's nobody next to me, then you have to say something. Then you have to try to analyze a little bit. Yeah, and then I'm always like, fuck. I hope not too many pros are watching this because that would expose me so badly. That's always what I'm scared of. But on the other hand, as you say, Marvin, it's super tough. And if you have one player sitting next to you, he says the one thing, and if you have a next player sitting next to you, he sees something completely different in the match. So I think there is obviously there is right and wrong. There's definitely wrong. But there are many variations of right, I guess. Yeah. That makes it so tough.
And you cannot see everything, I would say, for one person. Like, you cannot focus on everything. There's so many things going on that you miss half of it.
Yeah, like for me, it's just extraordinary. Sometimes when some players sit next to me and then they see something and I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But I never would have seen that. And also, if you don't hear what the coaches are saying or what the players are saying in the breaks, because that definitely helps. Because sometimes it's just a feeling that you have as a player on court, and if I understand that feeling from the commentator perspective, definitely I will say something else afterwards because I know what your idea is of the match. So yeah, it's also not too easy to be commentating and trying to find the right right patterns on the court.
I think the most important part there is to see like the obvious things. For example, when it comes to wind, like that. A mid to good commentator should see that there is wind involved if there is wind involved. Like that is like one of the basic things, and not just say, oh yeah, he's missing so many shots at the back line, like it's going out all the time, like bad quality or whatever. If you would stand on court and feel how much backwind you have, then you would know. Then it's also just not easy to put it to the back line perfectly.
But it's also just because I'm not there, I don't know if there's wind, so I can also just say there might be some wind. It looks like there's wind involved, but I don't know. I haven't played on the court, so maybe you have just a really bad day and miss all those shots. No, I don't know, but yeah.
Here in Al Ain, like I'm playing the Al Ain Masters right now, right?
Abu Dhabi, right? Is it Abu Dhabi?
No, Al Ain. It's like 1.5 hours away from Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
This is probably top 3 windy conditions I've ever played. It's ridiculous.
Top 3 in a good way or bad way?
Bad way.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, when you say top 3, it's never good conditions.
No. No, unfortunately not. It's. I would say the difference between like you hit a shot from one side, which goes maybe 2 meters out, and to the other side it's like 1.5 meters short of the service line. So almost 4 meters of difference in the shots. It's from the one side. I think we played one lift in the whole set we put in court. everything else went out just because it's just flying and flying and flying. It's really, really tough.
Feels like air badminton.
Yeah, kind of. It must
Could be.
be. Yeah.
It's a mixed hybrid.
Yeah, hybrid form. You play on a court, on a floor, but it's not but it's outside.
Yeah. And
But-
like it's especially the center two courts, I think behind that is the air conditioning, which is just like blowing straight in the height of the shuttle where it's flying. And then like it goes against to a wall quite close to the court in the back, and then the wind makes like a circle around. So on the other courts like outside, court 3 and 4, the wind is changing the direction. So and there it's not that fast anymore, but like it's super funny.
How do you call a Skispringen of English? Ski jumping? I don't know.
Ski jumping, yeah, ski long jumping.
I don't know.
Ski
But you know
flying.
what I mean,
Yeah.
Christo, right? Ski flying. So and there, if you watch that, you always see how they have it in the TV broadcasting, how the wind directions are and everything. That would actually be so interesting to have in a badminton hall in our broadcasting system, so you can see the wind conditions on the different sides, and maybe even on the like in the front court and the back court, because it would be, and also the different heights, because there must be so many different directions and impacts. That would be so cool to have on TV.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know if it's possible technically to have like that many points of wind directions, but yeah, that would be super interesting, because that's also what we thought at air badminton when we played. We were like, it changes all the time, and you never really know where it's going, and then you have like one shot of wind coming in and dragging one shuttle out, and then the next two rallies are completely easy again. So it's super random. That's also why it probably didn't look that good when you watched it.
Actually,
but yeah.
I would like to know, maybe from the listeners right now listening to the podcast, like, is this something that is interesting to you? Because like no normal badminton player ever experiences this, really, right? Like
That's true.
In a hall in Germany, when you play, like, you don't have wind. Like you think like, yeah, what are they talking about, right? But for us, it's such a big factor sometimes. So yeah.
I mean, I think we are quite a little. Like, if you listen to this every week, you have to be a kind of a badminton nerd, I think. So,
Yeah.
and I think if you listen today, and if you listen 23 minutes in, and we are talking 20 minutes about wind, then it's interesting to you. So thanks for listening. But maybe we can step away from the wind now. But Marvin, you said it's you won your first match, right? Second match coming up. And you haven't played in a while. You also had a long tournament break again.
Yeah.
So how is it to be back?
Yeah, good. As you said, long training period. Maybe also with some other breaks for different reasons, but yeah, nevertheless, good to be back on tour. And yeah, I think I'm in quite good shape. Of course, you never really know where you are when you haven't played for, I don't know, 3 months, is it now, or something like that. But in general, I think my body feels quite good. So I'm looking forward to every challenge that's coming. And it's definitely interesting to play in these conditions. Sorry for mentioning the wind again, because that's also just something that you have not trained for the last 3 months. But yeah, I mean, of course, I always enjoy being on tour. My wife is also with me now for the next 2
That's
weeks,
cool.
Which is nice. So good company. The team is also good. We are 5 players now from Germany here, with the 2 youngsters, Melik and Kenneth, and Leona also. So good training group, which is nice. And yeah, let's see how far we can go, how it's going. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, fingers crossed for this and next week.
Yeah, good luck.
And
Thank you.
Christo, for you, I have one more. I mean, we talked about the last 2 tournaments briefly, but there's one match that definitely stood out. Can you guess which match I mean? So many for you, know.
Maybe Lo Kinyu or Chao Chen?
Look in you, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Can you take us through that match once again, please?
Whoa, okay. If I remember well, it was a close first game, winning 19 or 18, I think.
18,
then yeah. And I was on the good side because Hong Kong also we have good side, bad side with the wind. So second game, I just couldn't get to play well with the conditions, and I think I lost 8 or 9 something, I believe. And then the third game was pretty close because I'm on the bad side again, good side again. I think I'm leading 11-10, and then I was like, oh shit. Now
That's
I'm on
too
the
narrow.
bad side. Yes, that's maybe too close for me to win the match. But then I think, as every tournament that have both sides very different, and even though one side you get destroyed one of the sets, third game is always different, and it's always tight in the third game. And I think at the end I well managed to. I knew I had to run a lot because he was on the he could lift very easily and defend, so I had to run a lot and put a lot of work to do. But I'm also young. I would say that also helps a lot because we were training a lot and I could do it. So yeah, I went all in physically, and at the end it was we had really nice rallies at the end. Few of them were very long, very stressful. From my side, I think I saved a lot of match points. Whew. That was good to win this one. Definitely good one.
29-27 or something in the third.
Yeah.
Crazy. I mean, why is it that you say, I mean, we see that many times that the first 2 sets are basically one-sided, and then the third gets really close, even though one of you, in this case you, are especially for the interesting part of the match, or for the most important part of the match, on the bad side. Why is it not that big of a deal in the third so often? Wind again, sorry, but this is the topic of the episode.
Yeah. Let's say I start third game. I know I'm on the good side. He knows he's on the bad side, but you always have those, little mistakes you make. Always have those sometimes success from the opponent of playing a net shot, of playing on the line, things you cannot really control at some points, and sometimes miscall from misjudgment. You think it's out, it's in. Also some stress. It's a third game, so you cannot have mistakes. You cannot allow yourself to do some mistakes, and then. When you see, even though first game and second game, you see a gap in the score, until 11, the gap it's not so big because you get to adapt again to the conditions. So I'm moving from bad side to good side, so I need to adapt again. My lifts are short the first 2 rallies, then I adapt. So that also giving him some time to win points. Then at 11 points, he's experiencing the same thing as me, changing again the role of being in a good side, bad side. Then once again, it's third game, so everyone is stressed, no mistakes, so you play with more security. You don't allow yourself to take some bigger risks.
So less risk, yeah.
Yeah. Again, some easy mistakes, I think, because then you need to adapt again to the good side. You cannot even though you played first game and second game on both sides, you need to again adapt because it's a matter of power, matter of distance, and it's tough. And well, even if you take someone, how to say, you take world number 1 right now, Shiuchi, against a guy who's top 100 in the world, just 100. If you play a match to 5 points, then it's almost 50-50. Because the guy could play 150% pushing everything, risking everything, and he can win. So you never know. That's why when it's to 21 points, you can see a gap because every point is tough, but at the end you win statistically more points because you're on the good side, then the gap is getting bigger. But when you play to 11 points, it's like third game, it's like 2 sets of 11 points, so it can be tough.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion. That's how I would explain it. Maybe Marvin has also a different opinion about that.
Yeah, maybe I would add also that being on the good side then in the end also puts some mental pressure on you in some kind of way. And maybe makes you a little bit more, okay, I really don't want to make a mistake because the other one might do the mistake at one point. And the other guy is like, okay, I really have to be super sharp now. I cannot make these stupid mistakes of being at the bad side. I know about it. Like, I have already experienced it. So, like, be as sharp as possible. And this might help you a little bit on the mental side of things. Yeah, and maybe this, like, levels the game a little bit more. But yeah, I also can't really explain it.
Yeah, I'm sure that the
Also-
mental thing also plays a role. 100%.
I would say
It's
it's
like
also a different experience when you play maybe like in the challenge or a Super 1000 or World Championship, because when, for example, if I play Loki New, like the same exact match, first game he was on the bad side, but he managed to play well anyway, tactically. So I think like people are adapting also very well. Doesn't really matter sometimes. Like you can see also Anders Antonsen, when he's playing the bad side, he can still grab a set. He's struggling, but he's trying. And then of course sometimes you're trying and it's not working, but you can see matches on tournaments that are very difficult to play, and then few people are winning 20-20, 21-5. Like first game is very tough, but you manage to play well, and then you get it. And then second game, you're very confident because you won on the bad side, and now the other guy is just very bad mentally. So yeah, it also depends against who you're playing.
Yeah, crazy topic. I think we could talk for hours about that. But
Yeah.
let's look ahead a little bit. We have now. Okay, Marvin, you are still on tournaments. Christo, you're at home now.
Yeah,
right?
at home right now, leaving to Helsinki on Sunday for Finland Open.
We have 4 weeks of the European leg coming up. Are you going to play all 4 of them, Christo? Marvin, you already said you don't.
Yeah, I mean, for my side, it's the plan. If I do something well, then maybe skip one of them, but definitely not skipping French Open or
True.
Denmark Open. So yeah.
Yeah. Bro, don't skip HYLO Open. You have a title to defend.
Yeah. For the moment, I'm playing the four of them in a row.
Okay. Marvin, what about you? You said French and HYLO, I guess?
Yeah, correct. That is the plan for now. French and HYLO. We will play Turkey next week. We thought about entering Arctic, but yeah, as I said before, like we want to make sure as you can be, and of course you can always lose a match, but it's more important for us to play matches rather than maybe getting to a second, or if it goes really well, quarterfinal, but actually having less matches. We just want to get going again. So that's why we want to play the lower ranked tournaments for now. And then also we don't want to play like 5 tournaments in a row, which would be if we go to Denmark, French and HYLO. And HYLO, of course, for us is the most important one of all of these. So we will definitely not skip that one. And I think it makes sense now if we come back from Turkey Sunday evening next week, that we have 1 week of break where Denmark would be, and then go to French Open, and then back to HYLO Open, which we are of course really looking forward to, and are so happy to be in the main field also. And yes, it's gonna be so nice. Can't wait to play.
I mean, you both of you have home tournaments coming. What makes it so special? Two sentences.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's my hometown. Like it's like just it's home. I mean, what can be better than playing the sport you love on a professional level, where people you love and they love you come to see you play and cheer for you, and even others who you don't know come and cheer for you and hype you up and stuff. Like it's fantastic. I've been at the tournament when I was like 10 years old or whatever, watching, and now I play there myself. I've seen Michael Fuchs win it with Birgit back in the days, and like all these memories, and now you're kind of part of it. I already had good memories there, of course, with Mark. Like this especially one tournament where the Bavarians were there with their fan club and came and like hyped the hall really up. Amazing atmosphere, and yeah, can't be any better than that.
So for you playing at home, I mean, you just experienced it again in Paris. What was like I also had goosebumps during all of those matches. So it's probably the same feeling, right?
Yeah, definitely. Just I think I'm more used to also play in Paris. World Championship, Olympics, French Open used to be in Paris. Now it's for a second time in Rennes. We've played also nationals there, and it was really great. So yeah, it's definitely a good tournament as well. I'm happy to play at home, and also when you play at home, you play a tournament, of course, but it's less demanding mentally, or like you're not really into traveling mode or something. You're just going to play in your home country. It's like when I played Orleans last year. Is the same. Like you go, it's almost you're at home, even though it's not my home because I almost travel as long as I'm going to Europe because then you like I'm south of France, so I need to have a train or plane and stuff. So it's basically the same tournament for me that playing in Europe, but you play at home. So it just feels so more welcomed, and you're more happy to play. You're more motivated, more excited, and you just want to. You definitely want to do some results there.
Yeah, and in my opinion, HYLO Open is kind of your second home tournament because it's like, I don't know, 10 minutes from the border or something. So many French fans every time.
Good win, a good win. Yeah, so
good win. I mean, you had one bad tournament in that hall, I think, and everything else was always quite good, at least in the recent years. And your brother also just now plays for the club there. So for him, it's also even a bigger home tournament. So you cannot leave him alone there. So putting some pressure, I want to see you there because I think for me it's the next tournament I'm going. I thought I would go to a French Open also, but Yonex just canceled those plans. So I'm just going to be at the HYLO Open. Yeah, so see you two there.
Yes, that's the plan. I mean, at the moment that's the plan. So no worries.
Yeah,
no worries.
So but what basically saying don't win French Open. I don't know if that's okay, but
no, that would be the follow-up question now, the last one for today maybe, because obviously you skip the next week if you perform really good in the week before, right? Or is there another reason? It's just
as I said, like I need to maintain, and also I would like
to. It's just a 500, man. It's just a 500.
Yeah, but I mean, I would like to also play World Finals, so that's why I'm playing also the 4 in a row. We used to think that we would maybe skip Finland, but we don't. Yeah, I would like to play World Finals, so that's why also I'm trying to push it for the 4 tournaments. And also we are having a really big break of the World Tour after HYLO Open because I'm not going to Japan Masters. So yeah, we're gonna have a really long break. So last one could be HYLO Open, and then the next one could be Malaysia Open. So that's almost 2 months of preparing and rest. So we could play the 4 of them.
Perfect. Let's keep it that way. Thommy, perfect. What a perfect ending. Yeah, I know that I'm always talking a lot about HYLO Open on this podcast, but that's also just the home tournament for me. Where for
that's
me,
how it is.
For me, that's where my work journey in badminton basically started, and that's why we always also try new things, and we will also do some new nice stuff with the media team. So I'm also really looking forward, and I'm basically planning it all year. And now we're 4 weeks away, so I'm also really, really looking forward to it. Yeah.
You know, maybe it's also my first World Tour tournament I've played. It was not called HYLO Open. It was Bitburger. It was Super 100. I think that was my first tournament.
That's what I was also saying. You played there for so many years now, and now you're like, you're 22, 23?
23, yeah.
23, and you played there like, I don't know, 8 years ago already.
Well, like maybe not 8. But,
yeah, it feels like it. Like, I don't know, 2018 or something.
I think my first one was right after my silver medal at the World Championship, so it could be 2019.
19.
Yes.
Because
that's not that long then.
Yeah. No,
it's 6 years.
He was only
17
years old or whatever,
16, 17.
Yeah, I don't know. 17 I was.
There's a video. I just remember that because there's a video of a colleague of me who was going around with the players and doing little interviews, and you were in that video. A few years later, I saw it and I was like, wait, he was already there? That's super early. But yeah.
I was very happy because I did quarterfinal. So it was actually really nice. And I beat a Chinese player, which is now Li Yangqi, the left-handed who's top 32.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a good win.
Good win. All right. Guys, I think I'm good for this week. We talked about a lot of wind, but I hope people are still listening. And yeah, maybe if you want to know more about wind, write some comments, and we can do another whole episode.
I'm curious also to know the opinion of Kirsty about the wind.
Yeah, so next week again. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Guys, thank you so much. Marvin, good luck this week, and Christo also safe journey to Helsinki, and then
thank you.
Hope to talk to you again next week.
Thank you, Thommy.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.